Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're doing a deep dive into something many of us are curious about, maybe even tried, but often find, well, maybe a little frustrating. We're talking meditation.
It's so true. You hear people raving about it,
Yeah.
right? And you sit down, maybe it's your first time, and suddenly your brain decides that's the moment to cycle through every embarrassing thing you've ever done,
I was
plus your entire shopping list.
Exactly, yeah, the to-do list monster. So if that sounds at all familiar, this deep dive is definitely for you. Our guide today is a book called Meditation for Beginners, How to Meditate for Lifelong Peace, Focus, and Happiness.
Right. And our mission, really, pulling from this source, is to try and strip away some of the mystery, understand what meditation really is, why this book argues it's so valuable, and importantly, how you, as a beginner maybe, can actually start building this practice, even if it feels, well, impossible right now.
Yeah, we're going to look at its history, which is surprisingly ancient, check out some different approaches, and then get really practical. Like, what are the actual steps for preparing, starting, and crucially sticking with it?
Because the guide is pretty clear on this. Consistent practice, even just a little bit each day, can bring, quote, wonderful results.
Okay, so let's jump right in then. What is meditation, according to this book? One of the first things it points out is, well, it's not just one single thing. The word gets used for all sorts of activities and mental states these days.
And it has this incredibly long history. It's not some modern fad. The source highlights roots going way, way back. Think dhyana in Hinduism, maybe around 1500 BC.
Wow, 1500 BC.
Yeah. And then you see it pop up in Buddhism, Jainism, which,
Hmm.
gives us Zen, and in yoga, particularly with pranayama, that's the breath control part.
It even connects to practices in Christianity, Judaism, Islam with dhikr around the 8th century. It's really widespread.
It is. And what's fascinating, I think, is how this guide links it to, like, human evolution itself.
How so?
It suggests that the actual ability to focus our attention, like really concentrate on one thing for a while, was a huge step for us as a species.
That's an interesting angle. Like being able to filter out distractions was key to development.
Exactly. Think about complex tasks, tool making, maybe even deep social bonds. That kind of sustained focus, which meditation helps cultivate, is presented here as pretty fundamental.
That really reframes it. So, despite all the different types, and the book lists a bunch, right? Breath focus, thought control, devotional, mindfulness, TM, Kundalini, sound, compassionate, quite a few.
Yeah, a lot. But the common thread, the thing they all seem to aim for, according to the source, is calming the mind, finding that inner stillness.
And our minds, they're usually anything but still, right? The book paints this picture of constant brain chatter.
Totally. From the moment we wake up, maybe even in our sleep sometimes, it's just
Mm.
running, processing, planning, reacting, full speed ahead.
It's exhausting just thinking about it. And the point here isn't just that it's tiring, but that meditation offers a way to, apply the brakes a little.
Right. Slow things down, bring awareness back to now, the present moment. And the book argues this is really vital for keeping our brains healthy and, well, our minds sane in this crazy, fast-paced world.
Okay, so that helps define the what and the problem it addresses, which naturally leads to the why. Why should you, listening now, actually care about finding this stillness?
Well, the list of benefits in this book is pretty extensive. It starts with just um, better mental health overall, fewer chaotic thoughts, less emotional kind of turbulence.
Yeah, and building on that, it talks about real reductions in things like anxiety, stress, even depression, plus an increase in just general positivity.
And then there are the cognitive boosts. Because your mind's calmer, you get better concentration, better focus, your attention span can actually increase.
You stop feeling like your mind is constantly racing ahead.
Exactly, that feeling of always rushing. And it connects to physical health, too. Better sleep is a big one mentioned.
Ah, sleep, always important.
Definitely. And the book suggests this links to the brain-body feedback loop. Plus, it might make it easier to stick with other healthy habits, maybe avoid things like, too much alcohol, tobacco, stuff like that.
Interesting. It also mentions increased productivity, efficiency, better memory.
And better decision-making. Because you're maybe less paralyzed by fear when your mind isn't spinning out of control.
And then there's a deeper level, right, for those interested.
Yeah, the source touches on that. At higher levels, it suggests meditation can help you connect with your sort of real self, find more meaning, more purpose, lead to a more fulfilling life, essentially.
That's quite a range of potential outcomes. But the book hammers this point home, doesn't it?
It does. Consistency is key. These benefits don't just happen. They come from meditating daily, making it a real habit.
Okay, habit formation. But first, choosing a path. With all those types mentioned, where does a beginner even start? It seems overwhelming.
It can be. But this guide has a very strong recommendation. For beginners, it really points towards starting with breath control.
Breath control, why that one specifically?
Well, mostly it's simplicity and the immediate effect it can have. It's basically just focusing consciously on your breathing,
Hmm.
the air coming in, the air going out, really
Active.
flowing it down, taking longer, deeper breaths.
Like that pranayama practice from yoga we mentioned, controlling the life force.
Exactly that connection. And it's not just ancient wisdom. There's a physiological basis. Deep rhythmic breathing actually signals your nervous system to calm down.
Ah, okay. So it slows your heart rate.
Right. Relieves stress, releases calming chemicals, gets more oxygen flowing, even helps with detoxification, the book suggests.
I like the practical example it uses, taking a few deep breaths before a stressful meeting. We kind of do that instinctively sometimes, don't we?
We do. It shows how accessible it is. And that's why it's great for beginners. It's relatively easy to understand. It gives you something concrete to focus on. And just the act of breathing deeply and slowly automatically starts to quiet the mental chatter a bit.
Makes sense. The guide also suggests pairing this with mindfulness practice.
Yeah, it sees them as complementary. Mindfulness, is described here, is all about pulling your attention fully into the present moment. Not thinking about yesterday or worrying about tomorrow, but focusing on what you're doing right now. Your senses, your body, your feelings.
And you can do that anywhere, right? Not just sitting on a cushion.
Exactly. While walking, eating, washing dishes, whatever you're doing, just bringing your attention to that.
The book links it to that feeling of being in the zone, like athletes or musicians describe.
Sort of, yeah. That state of complete absorption, often quite blissful. And the benefits are similar. Less stress, more positivity, happiness, better focus, increased productivity.
And the way to practice it daily is just remembering.
Basically, yeah, reminding yourself again and again throughout the day. Just pay attention to now.
Okay. And those other types, like thought control.
The book specifically flags thought control as really difficult for beginners. Actually says it's a common reason people give up entirely.
Ah, good to know. Avoid that one at the start.
Probably wise, yes. Other types, like devotional or TM, might be explored later based on your interests or beliefs, but breath control is positioned as the foundation.
Got it. So you've picked breath control, maybe aiming for some mindfulness too. How do you actually build the habit? The source really stresses preparation, doesn't it?
It does. Calls it crucial. And it starts with making a really firm decision.
Hmm.
Like, commit to trying it seriously for a set period, maybe 3 to 6 months.
And decide not to quit, even if you don't see results right away.
Exactly. That determination is highlighted. And visualizing the benefits can help keep you motivated. Imagine feeling calmer, more focused, having that quiet space.
The guide also mentions reducing negative input before starting. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's not just about substances like alcohol or tobacco, but also limiting excessive information, too much TV, constant internet scrolling.
Because that feeds the mental chaos you're trying to calm.
Precisely. That's the insight here. Quieting the external noise helps quiet the internal noise.
Then structure. Very important according to the source.
Super important. Choose a fixed time. Early morning is often suggested because it's usually quietest. But the key is consistency. Find a time that works for you and try to stick to it. Have a backup time just in case.
And a fixed place. A dedicated spot.
Yep. Somewhere peaceful where you ideally won't be disturbed. And keep the duration realistic for starting out. The book strongly advises just 3 to 5 minutes.
Only 3 to 5 minutes. That
You-
sounds short.
It sounds short, but consistency is more important than duration initially. Use a timer, but don't watch it. Just set it and forget it until it goes off.
Accountability helps too, right? Telling people.
Definitely. Telling family or friends, maybe even sharing your intention online if that feels right. It adds a layer of commitment.
Okay, prepared. Now the actual practice. What are the steps?
All right. First, get physically ready. Maybe a little stretch, wear comfy clothes. And crucially, phone off or on silent. No distractions.
Posture. Does it have to be lotus position?
No, absolutely not. Sit comfortably. A chair is fine. Or cross-legged on a cushion if you prefer. The main thing is a reasonably straight spine, relaxed, but, upright and aware. Hands resting gently on your lap or knees.
Okay, comfortable, spine straight. Then what?
Then gently close your eyes and turn your attention inwards. The book suggests a quick body scan, just noticing sensations from toes to head, consciously relaxing any tension you find. Shoulders, jaw,
Hmm.
common spots.
Just noticing, not judging.
Exactly. And then the core, focus on your breath. First, just observe how you normally breathe. Often it's quite shallow in the chest.
Yeah.
Then start to consciously deepen it. Breathe in slowly and fully, feeling your belly rise. Maybe hold for a count. Then breathe out slowly and completely. Maybe hold the out breath briefly too. Just focus on that cycle. In, hold, out, hold.
And that conscious slowing has a direct effect.
Yes, that's the idea. It helps signal calm to your nervous system. The book even says you might feel moments of peace right from the first session.
Okay, here's the big one, though. Distractions. My mind wandering off.
Yes. The book is very clear on this, and it's so important. You will get distracted. Your mind will wander. It's absolutely guaranteed, especially at the start.
So the key isn't not getting distracted.
No. The key is how you handle the distraction. The instruction is, do not get frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Do not criticize yourself. It's totally normal.
So what do you do?
You just gently notice, thinking, and then gently, kindly bring your focus back to the breath. Over and over again.
Like training a puppy, maybe. Patiently bringing it back.
That's a great analogy. The book uses teaching a child. Be patient, be gentle, be encouraging with yourself. Don't try to force concentration. That usually backfires.
And counting breaths can help anchor the focus.
Yeah, especially initially. Count maybe 1 on the inhale, 2 on the exhale, up to 5, then start again. Just a simple anchor.
Okay. Then the timer goes off. How do you finish?
Gently. Don't just jump up.
Okay.
Slowly open your eyes. Take a moment just to observe your surroundings. Let thoughts flow freely for a bit. The book suggests maybe a moment of gratitude or compassion. Some people like positive affirmations here, too.
Right. Just ease back into the day. Now, this daily practice, sticking with it is the challenge.
Absolutely. So the book offers tips for maintenance. The big one, a simple rule: never miss for 3 days in a row.
Ah, the 3-day rule.
Yeah. Miss 1 day, fine. Miss 2, okay, life happens. But make sure you get back to it on day 3. It stops the habit from completely dissolving.
And patience with progress is key, too, right? Sticking with the short sessions.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Stick to those 3-5 minutes for at least 3 months, the book advises. Don't feel you have to increase the time too soon. That can just add pressure.
And don't quit if you don't feel like a Zen master after a week.
Exactly.
Right.
Results take time. Commit for that 3-6 month period initially. Even just feeling a little calmer during the session is progress. That's reason enough to keep going.
Remembering that it's not about perfection, but just showing up.
Precisely. It's not a competition. The brain is trainable, but it needs that consistent, patient repetition.
And the routine helps fix time, fixed place. The brain learns.
Yeah, it starts to anticipate and prepare for that quiet time, makes it easier over time.
Okay, so once you've got that consistency with breath focus, maybe the mind feels a bit calmer. The book mentions exploring higher levels, like
Yeah.
watching thoughts.
Right, this is presented as a more advanced stage. You'd still start by settling with the breath, but then you kind of let go of the anchor and just observe the thoughts as they arise.
Observe without getting caught up in them.
That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
The analogy used is like watching a movie. You see the story, the characters, the action, but you're not in the movie. You're the detached observer. No judgment, no trying to change the thoughts, just watching them pass by.
That sounds difficult.
It is. The book is clear this takes significant practice, potentially years or
Yeah.
even a lifetime for real mastery. But the idea is that with consistent practice, you start to have moments where the thoughts just cease.
Cease entirely. Thoughtlessness.
Well, the book describes it more like a paradoxical state, not blankness, but a kind of thoughtless awareness, intense presence, maybe even bliss, but without the usual internal chatter. It compares it, interestingly, to the moment of orgasm, thoughtless, yet intensely aware.
Wow. And it mentions trying to think in pictures instead of words.
Yeah, that's suggested as a technique sometimes. The idea is that our left brain is the dominant chatterbox, the language center. Engaging the right brain, which is more holistic and visual, by thinking in images might help quiet that verbal stream. It's about balancing the hemispheres.
And you can't force that thoughtless state directly.
No, the source compares it to trying to look directly at a mirage you see in your peripheral vision. It vanishes. It's something that arises naturally when the conditions of a calm, practiced mind are met.
Okay. Finally, the book ties meditation into a broader, healthy lifestyle, doesn't it?
It does. Suggests meditation thrives when supported by other healthy habits. Exercise is mentioned.
Diet too.
Yes, controlling diet. The book specifically brings up vegetarianism and avoiding factory-farmed meat, suggesting a link between the negative energy of how the food is produced and the ease of cultivating positive thoughts. That's the source's perspective offered there.
Interesting. What else?
Using aromatherapy as maybe a sensory cue for practice time. Meditating early morning, sunrise time for the quiet and perceived positive energy. Practicing mindfulness actively during the day by single tasking.
Not multitasking.
Right. Learning a musical instrument is suggested for its focus-building quality. Getting enough sleep, 8 hours, ideally, is crucial for brain rest. And maybe exploring spirituality or yoga more deeply if that resonates.
So lots of complementary practices.
Yes, things that reinforce a meditative mindset and are reinforced by it.
Okay, so pulling it all together, the core message from this source seems really powerful and quite inclusive.
It really does. Meditation in one form or another is presented as fundamentally accessible. Doesn't matter what your beliefs are, religious, spiritual, agnostic, atheist, there's likely an approach that can work for you.
And the real power isn't necessarily in achieving some mystical state right away, but just in building that consistent habit.
Exactly. Showing up day after day, even for just those few minutes, that's where the transformation begins, according to this guide.
And the benefits we talked about, less stress, better mental health, sharper focus, more productivity, these are framed as the natural results of that consistency.
Yeah. The book makes this compelling point that so many modern issues, anxiety, depression, attention deficits, are really linked to the insane speed of our lives, the constant noise, internal and external.
And meditation is offered as a direct antidote, a way to consciously create stillness.
Precisely. It helps create this positive feedback loop. You introduce stillness, which helps you cope better with the chaos, which makes it easier to practice stillness, and so on. It can genuinely improve your health and just your overall experience of life.
So the final thought for you, the listener, is maybe to consider, how could incorporating even just a small island of stillness into your day, how might that start to create positive ripples in your life?
It's definitely something worth exploring.